Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give a quick rundown of some of the tools available in Adobe Reader DC for when you're marking up a PDF. I've got a checklist here that I'm going to fill in, and I send this to my clients when I'm proofreading a PDF to make sure that they can see all of the markup. I've found that depending on the program, occasionally I can run into issues. For a little while, for instance, Mac's preview didn't show the connected lines, which I'm going to cover in a minute. The first thing we need to do is find our tools, because we've got a couple of them up here. We've got the sticky note, which I don't really use, and the highlight, but there are a lot more hidden in the tools menu over here. You want to come down to comment here, and then I've got a whole load more. Also, I've got a comments pane here, and everything that I mark up is going to display here. This can be useful to make sure that your client's not going to miss any of the marking you make. Some of them are quite small. So the first one I'm going to use is a red line. To find that, I'm going to come up to my shapes here, and I'm going to left click, and I've got a line. At the moment it's going all over the place, but if I hold shift, it's actually going to be straight. It goes at angles like this. I tend to use this. I want to make sure that everything is aligned properly. Short of sticking a ruler onto your screen, it's one of the best ways. So I'm just going to left click there, and sure enough, it now says line. The next one is the similar thing, and again we can hold shift for this. There are some options. It doesn't have to be red. You can change the color up here and the thickness, things like that. Next up, I'm going to pop a rectangle in. I tend to use this if I need to move text about. If this needs to move, then I can put a rectangle around it and then an arrow together to show where it needs to go. And the oval does pretty much the same thing. The next one, the text callout box, this is one of my favorite tools because I can come here, and where I click my cursor, it puts an arrow attached to this little box, and we can put it wherever we want really. So I'm going to left click, and let's just type in example. Obviously you can put whatever you want in there. These are also good because once you put it there, if I needed to move the arrow, then I could do. Also, when I get the 4 arrows like that, I can move this around exactly as it is. But if I wanted to move the text box and not the arrow, when I've got the little white cursor there, then again it'll go back to how it was when I first selected it. And this one, I'm going to select it, and the highlight tool that was available before I got the extra ones, I'm going to click that there. This one's particularly useful if you need to put a query in or something like that, because I can double click and then I can actually type something in here. And then I've got the highlight here. It shows it there, but it also shows it in the comments. And if you just want to be a little bit more rough and ready, my handwriting's absolutely terrible, but you can use this pencil tool here. And yeah, there we go. There's my fairly terrible arrow just there. You can actually add a comment there as well if you needed to. So yeah, this next one, this is the one that wasn't displaying in preview for a little bit. I think it is now. Updates tend to make some things work and make other things not work. Connected lines are similar to arrows or to normal lines depending on what settings you've got. But I'm going to left click, and again I can hold shift. If I left click again, it's pretty much like playing Snake. And to finish, I'm going to double click. At the moment I've got an arrow, but if I come down, right click there and go to properties, then I can change this, and if I go to none, then it doesn't have an arrow anymore. It's just the lines. But I do want arrows just there, so I'm going to turn that back on. If I wanted to make it without an arrow and wanted that to be the default, I can click make properties default there and it will go to whatever I've got it set to. The next one is like the text callout box, just without the arrow. So there we go, and again we can resize that, move it around as needed. And if you wanted something where you just wanted the text and no box, we can do that with the little T just there. And again, just going to type example. and escape. At the moment, sometimes if I press escape too many times, I get this hand, which means that I then, oh no, I can't move it. Yeah, if I select this, then yeah, usually I can't move anything around. If I do want to move, then I need to go back to the arrow just here. This can be good if you want to make sure that you're just checking something and don't want it moved. So the next thing, I've got some text that's got some errors, and I've got repeated there. I'm going to select this. Oh, there we go. And I've got a tool here to specifically show that I want to delete something, which is this strike through up here. So I'm going to strike through that, and that should be fairly self-explanatory. And the next one I'm going to come along to is that this needs to be a red one. So I'm going to select that. And the one I want here is this little add note replace text. So I'm just going to type in red there. There we go. Of course, that makes a knock-on change that this now doesn't make any sense, but we won't worry about that. And then a final word needs inserting as it's. And just here, this is one of the smaller marks. I'm going to use this little insert text at cursor, and then I'll just type in missing. And if I was really paranoid, I might put a little note in brackets, make sure to retain full stop. Something like that. And yeah, those are the main tools that I use. Like I say, there are some other ones like the sticky note, just goes there, but I find that it's usually not accurate enough for my purposes. Just delete that. I've made a copy of this checklist and put it on my website if you want something ready-made to send to your clients, and I'll put the link for that in the description. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and if you've got any queries, then do let me know. Cheers.